frag, which gives...
I thought you said he was vast for a second.
That's the frag that gives G2 an opening into the B bomb site, but no, denied. And Kenny, you see, he just walks in 180, scoped in, because if he unscopes and scopes in, he may compromise his position with the sound of the scope, so he will continue for as long as he deems necessary in this fashion. Does mean he moves slower, but it is what it is. 10 seconds remain for him to hold on to the sniper. Kashanda's starting to move forward through the connector position, so maybe there'll be a late engagement.
I think as well, G2 in the last couple of rounds when they're trying to really push in towards A, that's generally, you know, you saying, hey, you know, we think we're the better team and we have more skill. You can get a higher value out of playing towards A. And G2 are going to be taking a tactical now just to sort of assess the situation. And they may have to start going for these Suez takes. And one thing that we saw from Misfits yesterday was, or no, or even the day before even, it was how they had one player always throwing the same, you know, Molotovs and smokes and flashes towards the Suez position, even if they were not intending to actually like go there that round, and vice versa. And I think G2 now, they're going to be considering Suez heavily because Vega are shutting down A plays really well, and they're often playing players into connector, so taking Suez could be really high value.
G2 have not won a round in this half yet, and I think all of 3 rounds, actually you can see in the middle there, all of 3 rounds have been won by T sides. So that doesn't necessarily bode well for G2 if they are going to suffer a T side in the same fashion. They're only 4 rounds ahead now. They got that max loss bonus. So we'll see what Kenny can do with his AWP. He's the man in this round. He's the man. NBK though has a deagle as well. That's really unlucky. I can only assume that he started strafing before he fired his shot, but that's given a game away for a good 20 seconds now.
This is cool from his Shox. This information he gets in the connector area is more sort of suggestive as to where the other CTs actually are, because he can sort of use that as information to deduce that. But G2, they're going to be starting to push through the monster. Getting some nice damage there. Only making a kill, and there's an opportunity for G2 now, even though they only have some pistols. The pistols might be enough. We'll have to see Chopper now moving into the fray, and he'll get himself 3 quick kills. And that should be the end of the shenanigans here from G2.
Or is it? Shock. So it's 4 bullets left. Shox is dead. Never mind. Vega Squadron. Three rounds between them now. 9-12. G2 still looking for their first round in the second half. It is missing, as are all the glorious kills we saw in the first. Vega Squadron enacting revenge, sinking their teeth in deep at the moment. And again, the aggression continues with Kashanda. Not finding anything though, he will back off. A different approach. JR's, again, he's been left alone towards B, and Shox has started creeping in slowly but surely. This time JR's over towards A. Hutchie and Chopper are in B, so if Shox tries to play on the previous information, he may get absolutely ruined. JR spotted though, towards toilets.
Oof. Oh, okay. I thought he was safe. Maybe he did too. But that last lick of damage was enough from Kenny. Kashanda in position, looking to potentially challenge another player as well to support him. It is going to be Mir with the backup, and he's going to lead the charge there, finding Kenny. Is there a trade? Spotted out Apex Kashanda, baiting Mir for the frag, and Mir will stay alive. This is a beautiful setup that's been run for Vega towards the A side of the map, and G2 have it, but the cost was very high.
In the meantime, Hutchie pushed through Monster. Shox seemed to be looking for it from the short B position. I don't exactly know what went on there, but Hutchie's back into B. Shox is looking for an opening. Chopper's also there by the barrels, so there could be a trade situation coming in later. Mir's made his way in now as well. So there's a burst opening from Shox, but he's got more to find. He may not expect 2 players there. Around the pillar will be Hutchie. The bomb, though, hasn't started rotating towards B. Shox has gone to die on his sword. NBK and Bonnie are going towards A.
Yeah, I think that information for Shox really makes it certain that they can have an advantage if they move quickly. The shot's missed by Kashanda. Opportunity is there for G2. They just have to strike whilst the iron is hot, and that's going to be MBK with the kill. But so much time has passed, and speaking of time, only 10 seconds to plant the bomb. MBK's hand is simply forced. Surely now they know that it can't be a fake, and they can happily run through and take him down. MBK, oh, he did actually get the bomb planted there, so that's some extra money. It's a round for Vega, and they are showing us that, hey, maybe they, it's a struggle on that T side, but their CT sides in this tournament as a whole have been very cool to see.
Yeah, perhaps it's time for us to recognise that while they are still underdogs, they've been together so long that you have to expect more than reasonable sides from them.
I think, did Jason actually pick them against G2 again? Was he the only one?
He did. We can't give this to him 2 days in a row. We can't.
The smugness would, the green room would explode spontaneously.
Buy round for both sides. The plant allows this to be a buy round for G2 instead of an Eco. Mir has jumped into the balcony position, but he seems to want to keep going. And there are a lot of G2 players there. Grenades will fly. The end of bomb spotted. The trade is there though. No other CTs close. The bomb can be rescued. 3 smokes around the B bomb site. Kashanda, again, he is just salivating for more aggression, but this time he's gone too far. A minute 20 on the clock in a 4 versus 3. G2 will probably slow it down, but they've got so many advantages now.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting, because we're asking Vega Squadron if they want to win this round to actually create some kind of crazy clutches, because they have no grenades. They've got 2 flashbangs. G2, on the other hand, they are full of utility. Molotovs, smokes, flashes. And they have the numbers advantage as well, 4 versus 3. So with all of that said and done, Vega are only really left to settling towards the B bomb site. Time is of the essence now. 30 seconds to go.
Clock is being run down. They know JR is out there somewhere. And that's just not nice. However, they seem to have circumvented him for the time being. Molotov's flying, I think, towards the barrel position. The flashbang is there. Chopper is going to get 3 kills out of this. How has he done this? Chopper, 4 kills. That is ridiculous.
My God. My goodness, we asked for a hero play, and Chopper delivers in spades. Oh man, JR didn't even need it to be used. A 2 versus 4 here, and they were both playing around the pillars. This setup has been so damn successful in this matchup against G2 so far, and it's going to force another tactical timeout from the French. G2 now starting to wonder, what do we have to do to take rounds against Vega Squadron's CT side? We can't win the A battle. We can't win when we have a crazy advantage on utility and the numbers advantage piling into a bomb site. What is going wrong?
Chopper on 22 kills, leading the scoreboard now, leading the server. Oh man, that was devastating. Devastating.
Very impressive, isn't it? I mean, this is one thing we saw again yesterday against FaZe was the fact that Vega Squadron individually they were really not only confident but just very, very on point. And I guess we're not used to seeing that against the best players individually that you could ask for in the world. This has been a hard route for them, but can they make it a 3-0? That would just be unthinkable, surely.
Moses, right now, is rubbing his hands together. I guarantee it. No presence towards B for G2. They may be looking for a faster play, but Vega Squadron have gone for some, they've looked for some intel towards B with a boost over short B, and they haven't seen anyone there. And they've rotated JR and Mir back towards the A side. So they've got 3 people in A now. So they may be anticipating this play from G2. 1 grenade down long, which would suggest that people could get close. And there's a lot of movement on A from Vega Squadron. A lot of repositioning. Hutchie and Chopper look to be getting aggressive towards B. They might go for more information plays. Miss though, he's been spotted through the corner of the smoke. He might be able to escape. Apex forced to run back as he runs out of bullets. They're so close now, G2. Who's going to take the first kill?
Great pop flash there for the first frag. JR out of the picture as well. Down to Mir, very awkward. Pistol tried to be drawn there, but it's not going to be happening. Kenya shuts it down, and it's a 2v3 here. There's no grenades for Chopper and Hutchie to work off of. Again, it's going to have to be the shots, but nothing to deny Chopper out of the bank into the potential engagements. But the bomb plan is favorable for G2. They fell back to the toilets. This will be a very tough retake.
Slowly creeping in. Shock still dancing around the bomb site, delivering a kill off the Chopper, and Hutchie is left 1 versus 2 now. The bomb continues to tick. He has a kit. He doesn't have much health. No smoke grenades, no flashes, no nothing. It's got to go for the kills. Running out of time. Kenny's facing, but Hutchie's got to run for it. He knows that there's too much dancing between these two players. Shoulder peeking as he tries to defuse the bomb, so he'll try to hold on to what he has.
I wonder, did they outplay themselves here? Because this is, if we look at this round and compare it to all the others, they were very, very passive, and they looked very paranoid of a rush, and they allowed G2 to basically just run a set piece onto them. And so, I mean, the strength we've seen of Vega Squadron is when they play aggressively on the CT side in most cases, and they create weird situations in the mid round. And so I feel like maybe they outplayed themselves there.
Well, they had a good read as to what might have been going on, so they positioned themselves accordingly. To have 3 people holding the A site can be strong, but didn't work out for them on this occasion. Saving that gun was very important for Vega Squadron. They are able to buy around it. They had some money. It wasn't amazing, but that extra 5,000 or so saved from the previous round will be very handy for this one. This is a key round, a pivotal round. Assuming there's no bomb plant for the T side, whoever loses this is going to be in a lot of trouble because money is low, and it has significant implications. There are ways around it, but your odds are a lot lower than they otherwise are. So, 2 players starting in B for Vega Squadron. Always fun to watch because of how that changes. And the aggression is back towards Lock because Shadow's blind, but he still manages to get a kill. Look at the trades, 4 people dead in 5 seconds.
Yeah, actually, Vega quite unlucky not to get an additional kill onto MBK there for that 3 versus, or even potentially 4 versus 2. That trade looks really nicely set up from them. The battle of the pop flashes, and again, this is what Vega are very good at, these early round aggressions, and it seems like from that perspective, Overpass very suitable for them, as we see now Shock's just gaining information, and he's been, often we can see him doing this, sort of playing more towards the lurker role as well, and that is very important. Can he find the jump onto JR? That's the question. JR is the man to stop this potential push, and he will be successful and fall back onto the side. That's a big frag, especially with MBK so low.
As that frag was coming in, Hutchie had a look through a smoke on short B to see if anybody was there, and he sees no one. But JR appears to be rotating towards B anyway, so maybe they have a read that it could be a monster. So, I mean, let's see what G2 choose to do, but there's no vision towards the toilets now for the CT side, as you could see. No action, and JR starting to rotate back towards A. So Vega Squadron being very proactive, and meanwhile Chopper is starting to move down long. He's starting to flank these players, and they're taking so long to get to the site while all this information seeking is going on for Vega Squadron. And now Chopper's charging. Who is going to win this?
Oh, he's actually got great timing on this one. As they started pushing onto the side, they want to plant towards the truck and potentially as they look to clear. There's the check, but Body had no idea. MBK is completely exposed to Chopper and his might. It's now another round for Vega, and just as you said, James, that is not a round that either team could afford to lose. G2 have an advantage on rounds, but that may dissipate now as they have been reset. The bomb plug will be quite helpful, and they had a smidgen left in the bank, but they will have to really save if they want to have a full buy into the following round.
Often in European CS, at least, well, probably North American as well, you'll see a team try and slow things down on the T side after an explosive start, but that doesn't seem to be working against Vega Squadron because they're doing so much information seeking. If they see that there's a lot going on in one part of the map, they may feel like they've got an opportunity to sneak a peek somewhere else, and then there's just so many moving parts to Vega Squadron that G2 are allowing them net to close around them without even realizing it.
It's like no one told Vega Squadron they're on the CT side. They're like playing 2 T sides at the moment, which is amazing. And I think I forget who it was, maybe Yanko at one point said that at the moment in CSGO it is like on the CT side it can often be like playing a mini T side because of all the aggressions that you would want to take, and this map is so friendly towards that sort of a style, and that is what makes it a great map to watch. More passive setup here as the anticipation is against the pistols. Nice shot there onto the likes of JR, but he did get a frag, and Kashanda will fall back. He takes some damage as well. He just has to hold it, just has to get his teammates into position. He's got a bomb at his feet. That's a nice one.
He has bought so much time for his team in this situation. Fantastic job by Kashanda. Backing off, doesn't need to engage those players, spam them with grenades, buy time for his team. Anticipation, pre-fire to get that kill. Bomb is a bonus. Lovely stuff. The score is tied. G2 have won one round in this half.
I take it back, the whole Sardines thing. I mean, Vega, they are looking just as good as they have been looking this entire tournament so far against G2, even after a cripplingly bad start, which really tells you a lot about this team and their composure. And JR looking for the connector peek with the AWP. Doesn't see anything just yet. With that quick timing peek, will get the hell out of dodge. If you do stay around too long in connector, you can easily get isolated as your smokes die down and the T's progress towards A. But look at G2 at the moment. They're incredibly passive. Shox has gained position towards the connector, the sewers position. Usually with this sort of a setup where Shox just sits in sewers, usually from my memory, G2 would often just go towards A, and Shox obviously leaves open the possibility that they can double back through to B, or if things go badly, he'll take a pick into B.
Chopper's had 19 kills this half, sorry. Meanwhile, Shox is on 5, Apex is on 2, Body is on 3. It's NBK and Kenny doing the heavy lifting at the moment, but it seems too heavy for all of them. As Vega Squadron look to take the lead late in this game of Overpass. Currently 4 CTs in the B bomb site, with Kashanda trying to figure out what's going on towards A. Again, JR is on the rotation. The grenades start to sail in, but there's still a fair distance from G2, taking it slowly. That might give time for JR and Mir to get onto the site. Kashanda's been spotted now, and he spotted Shox as well, but still shoulder peeking. Now maybe trying to bait for his team. Doesn't need to engage, they just need to know he's there to allow JR to take a line elsewhere, and here it is.
Really smart positioning from Kashanda, falling back all the way. It does mean JR is exposed, though. That's the problem with this. Now everyone players wrap in, and this take is really good. Mir with a quick one as he comes up the stairs, but just as quickly as he comes, he will disappear as Kenny S takes position now. A very hard to deal with off angle. They're up the stairs. Chopper won't even be looking for that. Kenny and Shox hand in hand will finish it off. And Vega Squadron, they were too indecisive seemingly, and eventually G2 just got too far up, and you can see that Kashanda and JR's positions were they couldn't play off of each other because their teammates they had to fall too far back before the reinforcements came in. So I have to see if there's an adjustment in the future from that, and even whether G2 also can keep it up.
Well, there may not be much of a future, because despite getting smashed for most of the half, that is the round G2 needed to win. Look at what it's done to what Vega Squadron have, down to the pistols on 2 players. And now even if they choose to get aggressive, it's not going to be easy. Chopper and Hutchie making plays towards short B. Meanwhile, JR gets off to a good start. JR has an AWP. That's always a problem, regardless of what your team have.
And already getting 1 frag. There's 2 holding into connector. A solo Kenny S going down. Shox! He wants to get revenge, and he almost got himself the full revenge. At least 1 will do for now, as MBK has taken some more position with Body towards the A side of the map. But still, you have Kashanda in this position, but in connector, he can't really move. And JR's going to know that this is happening. Can JR catch MBK as he comes back out? He's got an angle for this, I do believe, but does MBK realize?
They're almost surrounded. Well, they more or less are, but Shox has found the hole. And it's going to be down to Shox to try and find out what's going on elsewhere, while his teammates wait to see what is safe.
That's a big off angle from Chopper. If they go out the door, he's very, very likely to get a frag. I think the door is closed. Oh, it's actually open, but still, Chopper will have a lot of time to get at least 1 kill, and that could be very problematic. Yeah, but if Shox peaks short B, Chopper, it's going to be really hard for him to get a kill when he sees it from that position. But Body's going to pop out the door while Shox is making noise. But the bomb's being dropped now. 25 seconds, Hutchie dropping the smoke, but surely the spray will be there. But it's the spray for the CT site. It's down to NBK. He's got to run through the smoke. There's only 20 seconds left. He's got to get in before the other CT rotate. Looking around the pillar.
And the bait is unbelievable.
Oh my. And honestly, James, I'm so impressed by Vega Squadron because, in fact, I don't want to say Vega Squadron, I'm impressed by them individually because the decision-making is so on point. Again, you know, you mentioned Kashanda, but previously, some of the way I've seen his movement around the site has been so strong. We just saw Hutchie understanding perfectly that there was a split coming in. He had a bit of the info. He understands the timing, does whip the spray there, but just understanding to drop the smoke and how he needs to play around it was just fantastic.
G2 might have to play for overtime. Nope, they're going for the force spike.
Oh my god.
I thought the odds were low, in fairness, it is G2 after all, but here we go. I mean, there is no wrong decision necessarily here because it is a very rough spot for them. It is rough. 14 apiece, and they have one AK-47. They'll have two. Body's got 4100. So I have two AK-47s and a bunch of pistols. But it's an interesting decision because it's been so hard for them to win one round here or there on a full buy. And they've chosen to go with this.
Maybe it's about the power of speed with those pistols. That could make the difference, but they aren't going for a full-out rush, which makes sense. And, you know, you don't want to run into the counter grenades. You can see here, just pre-Molotovs and so on from Vega. They know the money's broken for G2. They know that G2 are desperate, that they may do anything. And they're giving them the respect that they deserve as top-tier players and a top-tier team, but can G2 do it? Here they push in through the flames. Looking good here for Vega, though.
Well, this is quite contained. The hazmat suits are out, and G2 are in quarantine for that round. Again, I don't think there's a bad choice in there, but look, considering how hard it's been for either T side to win a buy round,
I mean,
I think I would prefer playing for overtime, but here we are.
I can definitely agree with you there. I mean, also it does just say, hey, we respect you guys. That you're playing so incredibly well. And the thing as well about this is that you can often say that best of ones, variants, all this kind of stuff. But I'm looking at it this way: Vega, obviously, the games we've seen them win, they have played remarkably well. But then, to make this run, if they do actually defeat G2 here, which they have massive advantages and are absolute shoo-ins to do so, they will have run through FaZe and then G2 to do it. That is just, I am without words to describe that.
G2 took a gamble. The gamble did not pay off, and they find themselves with 4 CZs and a bunch of flashbangs and smoke grenades. Would you have it any other way, all things considered? I'm sure their fans would. Vega Squadron are full equipped. They have everything they would want. Surely G2 cannot do this. The aggression continues. Kashanda looking around the smoke and then backing off. No one lurking outside B for the time being. 3 people in B for Vega Squadron, and Mir's keeping an eye on the goings-on in short B, but now rotating, it seems, back towards A. G2 being very careful, taking them at control slowly and surely, but look again how active Vega Squadron are. They've got 2 players in long, they've got a bait set up once again, JR holding the angle, but he's got 2 jobs to do, and then Kashanda's there for support.
Yeah, and you can see the pop flash there so that Kashanda can make a play here, not isolated by the smoke. And that's so brilliant. He's found everything, hasn't he? He can go in the back here. Oh, that's a very fast headshot from Apex. And another bullet to finish it off. The CZ.
No, he's on the bomb!
And he does manage to survive, though. Just barely, but he's not staying out there. He's missing another shot. This is very awkward at the moment.
Apex has got the bomb. What's going on? Does he know he's got the bomb? That's so crazy. He's alone on long. Is he going to push through the smoke? JR's gone down. Maybe it'll just outwork for them. The shock and awe. They're all over the place. They're swarming like the Zerg army. And Hutchie's alone. They're going to make it work. This force spike is absurd. 4 versus 1. Hutchie has to press some kind of nuclear button to win this one. Oh, are you serious? Okay, the bomb went down first. 1 versus 3. Still only 1 rifle on his 2 plates. Hutchie, okay. 1 versus 2 now. He's got all the time in the world. He's got a smoke grenade making his way through. Pre-firing. He's got a 1v1 on 10 if he can find it. Running out of bullets, so he's got 7 bullets left in the AK. Looking for the headshot, but he's running out the CZ. Somehow he gets it out. How is it still going on? Kenny just dancing around, shots in the smoke. And we are going to overtime. Holy potatoes.
What the hell's going on? Everyone take a breather. That was quite the ride. What on earth was this round from both teams.
He was flying in the air, Dan. He was airborne.
And the thing is, JR, like, not only does, Apex, is he able to win the first 1v1, and then he's just like, just fighting against JR. He can barely believe it. He's like, guys, I had the bomb along, by the way. didn't realize.
Like, so what's that? This is a lost round.
I don't understand. There's no way that he realized that, because if JR had 2 shots at him, if he gets one of those kills, his team was already committed to the side push.
Apex is like, I don't know, man. That's some bar salts right there. I don't know what he's doing. Re-peaking multiple times the AWP on long with the bomb.
And that's like the only time we've seen JR.
He's playing in traffic, Dan. He's playing in traffic.
Well, either way, overtime 1. Vega Squadron versus G2, trying to make it work here. Trying to make that 3-0 a dream. First they toppled FaZe. Can they do it against G2? The story continues here on Overpass with G2 staying on the T side, and an aggression from Vega is how they want to kick things off here as they look in towards the fountain and see nothing.
JR is everywhere. It's great to see a sniper with all the freedom in the world. When do you see a sniper get that angle with 1:30 on the clock? JR is awesome to watch. I didn't even have a GoTV pick for an overtime. Get your eyes on JR. Kashanda, aggressive once again. Now, Vega Squadron don't want to get into the situation where G2 just sit and wait for this aggression and then punish them for it. It is 4 versus 4, however. And we know how active Vega like to be. But they've got very forward positions in the toilets, in long A, JR and Mir. No eyes in toilets, and JR is once again rotating elsewhere. But it seems he might be inclined to go towards B, and he might be right, because there is a pilgrimage in that direction.
And a nice opening has been found. G2 starting things off well here. Again, they found so many troubles against the CT side of Vega. But this is certainly a good start. JR, though, lurking around the smoke, finds himself a quick one. 3 more to go, and MBK controls the rotation, and that's now it for JR. Has to back away. You have to be cautious with your money if you're an AWPer in particular on the CT side. If you lose 2 rounds in this format in a row, you won't have enough money for that 3rd round.
I bet Moses was celebrating. Oh, that's a nice shot.
It makes it look very, very easy indeed, doesn't it?
Yeah. There may be no bubbles in the champagne for Moses, depending on how this goes. The first overtime round goes the way of G2. Perhaps they have found themselves some momentum on what seems to be a very unfavourable T-side for both teams.
Oh, that's huge. Oh no, that's a disaster. He can get an AWP again, but he won't have many grenades. He's going to have to forfeit the Kevlar if he wants it.
Tactical timeout from Vega Squadron. It is their last timeout of the match. So, better use it wisely. Indeed, the AWP not saved is a problem in overtime. If you're not familiar, it is 3 rounds and a half, and you start with $10,000, considering it's like 6,000 or 7,000 for 1 buy per player on the CT side. The AWP is very expensive indeed, and Vega Squadron won't have one for this round. Okay. Now this is so that Shox has bought a second AWP on the T side. Let's see how it goes.
Not a big fan, but we'll see what.
In fairness, I think this is a reliable approach versus CTs who are just constantly pushing to just hold an angle. I think that's the idea behind this, because look again, quite predictably, Kashanda is going for a push. 2 kills very quickly here for G2, and again, there's a fine balance between offering aggression and offering the threat of aggression, as opposed to physically offering it every single round. And because eventually this is what happens. Yeah,
and it's also a thing about unfamiliarity, isn't it? When Vega are playing against a team like G2 don't have really LAN experience against Vega in particular, so some of the upfront tendencies that you'll be exposed to, well, as the rounds continue to play out, they start to see patterns, they start to see trends, they start to get better at adapting to what exactly Vega are doing, just as you're saying. So the longer this goes on, the more likely it is that G2 will win this, and it maybe could already get that there, because this is a horrible start for Vega at the beginning of this overtime.
At this point, I would like to see Shox swap out for a rifle. I don't think in the 4 versus 3 that the double AWP is longer necessary, and it's still necessary. And at this point, you're looking to execute onto a site where you're probably going to see maximum 2 players. I don't think you want 2 ops anymore. Kenny's creeping in towards Monster, but again, Chopper and JR are being active, but they've made the wrong guess. They're going towards the B-bomb site, where Kenny is, and when Kenny is spotted, whether he gets a frag or not, they're going to start charging in. So he has sold them something, and it's looking quite dodgy at the moment. In the meantime, G2 are still walking towards A. You need to start running, boys. Come on.
Yeah, they just saw both players, so they understand now, and there it is. The bomb will be planted in front of the container for Toilets, and should be fine here. Vega, there's surely no way that they can win this one, and they have a very hard decision to make. They have no money. If Vega loses this round, they're going to be relegated to pistols, armor, and a couple grenades. So there's a really big argument to save, especially considering that JR has an AWP.
Yeah.
And thank God they're going for it, because otherwise, honestly, it's going to be a very bad look in the next round. So in doing so, they'll give themselves a chance. I do wonder whether or not GT will go with that double AWP approach again, if they will go and seek out that additional AWP. Oh, actually, no, sorry, JR picked it up. Sorry, I'm a silly man.
I think we should have a term, like believe in the seal, because often you see people selling a fake, but the rest of their team take too long to activate it.
Yeah.
But it's not often you see Kenny faking with an AWP, so that's a pretty good sale if you ask me. I'm buying every time.
Hey, he's so fast, so fast. Well, 17 to 15, a rip-roaring start for G2 in the overtime, and
they've gone for it then. Double ops again.
Nice.
But I mean, ultimately, if they think the play works, the money doesn't matter at this point, so why not?
And the thing as well here is that G2 struggled to get T rounds in regulation, and now they are flying. So this does not bode well for Vega. Oh, hello. They'll take that every day. An offering of Apex, a sacrifice to the gods of Vega, to the shark gods.
I feel like G2 are unlucky there, because if they're half a second faster, I think they get the kill there. However, maybe they're never half a second faster, and maybe that's the way it will go. 3 CTs in B. Mir, Chopper, Hutchie, just waiting, moving a fair bit. They're both blind. I don't know who threw a flash there. In the meantime, Shox is going towards short B. And for those of you at home, bear in mind, he scoped in earlier on and he walks the entire way, because if he's close here and then he starts scoping, the scope is heard by Mir on the other side of the wall. If he walks from an earlier position and he scopes in, there's no warning until perhaps it is too late. Case in point, there goes Mir.
And now where's the next peak? But he was trying to harass from Monster, and now they know that Shox is still there, and this is really interesting. The bomb is actually down at the moment. They're just trying to frag out a little bit, and now there's 40 seconds left. It's a 3v3. They have to go back for the bomb. They have to start concocting an approach that involves some level of team play, because they are incredibly split at this point, but they can bring together the information. But JR, he's got information and a kill of his own, and that's going to allow himself to be able to cement the call for his teammates. Guys, it's going to be B, and Vega have a good chance to hold this.
Shox swapped out his sniper rifle for the AK-47, but there is dirt in the water, although that's been cleaned out entirely. 14 seconds for the bomb to go down. JR is trying to get as close as possible while one person is busy planting the bomb, and he makes it. Assuming he's been heard in the water, he'll have to assume that as well. Playing around the smoke, he's got to know somebody's in the site and stuff. Are you serious? There's no way. There's surely no way. Okay. The French are pretty damn happy with that. A clean T half. 3 match points for them.
Going for that defuse there, that is like the ultimate disrespect play, because it's like you're basically saying, I actually think there's a world where in this like 2v1 that you guys don't kill me when I'm just holding in the smoke. But to be honest, there is a world where that can actually work.
Well, it wasn't looking good. I mean, Shox had his knife out and Kenny was on the P250 trying to spam away.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, to be honest, it's actually a gamble that works a surprising amount of times. So I respect that.
I think 1 out of 10 times that works. And I really wish that was the 1 out of 10 times. I would have been so happy. But there we are. It is the French who are happy. And really, this has to be... I mean, Jason might need someone to talk to at this point if G2 are to win this. Because Vegas Squadron had the match won. And then CZ.
Yeah, that was really interesting. It's gonna be really fun to listen to what the desk have to say about this game after, because there's been a lot of really interesting spots, and I think a lot of credit has to be thrown to Vega, whichever way you sort of look at this game. And they're not out of it. They're really looking amazing so far. So really, really fun. Let's see if they can get some kind of a comeback into the second half. It's going to be a tough one. G2 seem to have found some answers here. I think they've learned the tendencies. Chopper going for the entry. He's going to be successful. 5 versus 4 with a minute and a half left. You love to see that if you're on a T side.
And again, Chopper instantly rotates towards the monster position, trying to pull, twist, contort the bodies of the G2 players on the B bomb site. He's taken one out of action, put them on the hospital bed, on the stretcher. But there's still 2 more entertained. Almost missing the CT aggression of Vega Squadron. G2 with a very different approach. Body will take out Chopper. Body went for a monster push there to get information of his own, but JR has replaced Chopper's position, and they may not expect this. They may rotate towards the A side. It looks like they're doing that. Mir may be selling them. Body and Apex are rotating out of B, and Kashanda and JR are walking in.
And Body's spotting, but he doesn't see anything just yet. And everybody's creeping towards the positions. They might just get a bomb down. There is the smoke, and now G2 are going to start to realize. Beautiful wall of smoke there to cover the bomb plant, and they're going to try to look over the top of the wall with this boost. Apex, though, there's only a certain amount of time they can hold for this, and that is, whilst they're waiting for the rotation of the teammates. But right now, Vega look really good. JR, I have no idea how he hit that one. Beautiful, though.
4 on 3. Clock continues to tick. Do you want to save G2? You need 1 round from 3. Apex moving, and he's committing to this, but will the AWP as well? They're in the side, they're looking for entries. Haji shutting down Apex through Monster. Point of no return as well, being crossed by G2. And it's too late to get the defuse. Kenny cannot escape the site either. All he can do is try to fight, take out some more players. They're hunting for him, but they know he can't escape. And there it is. Everybody will fall.